Imagine for a moment you are the last person left in the world. No friends, no family, no strangers passing by. The world, once full of life, is silent. Just you and the vast, empty landscape. The first thing you would notice is the silence. No traffic, no chatter, no sounds of everyday life. The hum of the world is gone. The streets that were once crowded now seem so empty, and the weight of isolation settles in. It hits you in waves, the loneliness, the absence of others. There's no one to talk to, no one to share your thoughts or feelings with. It's just you, alone, navigating a world that's suddenly become a ghost of its former self. Sitting on a rooftop, staring at a vast empty cityscape, symbolizing both the burden and the beauty of solitude. The silence is deafening, yet strangely comforting. A journal being written in, showing an attempt to make sense of this new reality. The pages fill with thoughts, fears, hopes, and memories, each word a lifeline in a sea of desolation. Looking at the sky with deep contemplation, sunsets, stars, or stormy clouds reflecting shifting emotions. The sky becomes a canvas for the soul, mirroring the inner turmoil and fleeting moments of peace. Here, in this moment, you find a fragile balance between despair and resilience. The world may be empty, but your spirit is not. Survival would become your focus. Basic needs would take precedence. You'd search for food, water, shelter, anything to keep you alive. You'd rely on what remains, the infrastructure, the resources of a world that used to sustain billions, now a distant memory. As the days turn into weeks, you enter survival mode. Adapting to this new world becomes your only option. Every action is driven by necessity, every decision weighed against the thin line between life and death. You forage for food in an abandoned supermarket. The shelves are mostly empty, dust-covered cans are your treasure, and the flickering lights cast eerie shadows. Each find feels like a small victory in a world that has forgotten what it means to provide. Desperation pushes you to try using a dead phone or computer. You click buttons, search for a signal, and each time you're met with no connection. The devices that once connected you to the world now serve as cruel reminders of your isolation. Nights are colder, lonelier. You light a fire in an open field. The warmth of the flames a stark contrast to the cold emptiness around you. The crackling fire is your only companion. Its light a fragile beacon in the vast darkness. Survival mode is not just about the physical struggle. It's about adapting to a world that has changed beyond recognition. It's about finding strength in the smallest victories and holding on to the hope that somewhere, somehow, you are not alone. But technology, once a bridge to endless connections, now feels hollow. There's no one to reach out to, no message to receive. You might scour the internet for answers, for any sign that you're not truly alone. But everything just echoes back at you, empty and devoid of life. You start to look for meaning in the remnants of the past. The knowledge, the culture, the stories. They become your companions. They remind you of a time when the world was full of laughter, struggle, and growth. And in a way, you start to understand the world isn't truly gone, it's just paused. Then the realization comes, there's no going back. The world you knew is gone, but you still have the power to move forward, to decide what happens next. You could try to rebuild, plant seeds in the empty ground, preserve what's left. Maybe, just maybe, a new world can rise from the ashes of the old. Or perhaps you'll accept the solitude and find peace in the quiet. The future is yours, but only if you choose it. Because in the end, being the last one left in the world isn't about what happens around you. It's about what happens inside you. Soft, what will you do when the world is silent? In the silence, a choice emerges. Finding purpose in isolation. A lone figure plants seeds in an abandoned park, each sprout a visual metaphor for hope and rebuilding. They wander through a deserted library, their fingers gently tracing the spines of old books. Preserving knowledge and history, the echoes of a world once vibrant. As dawn breaks, a breathtaking sunrise illuminates an empty landscape. signifying a new beginning. Hope persists despite the loneliness. The scene concludes with a powerful long shot of the solitary figure walking toward the horizon. Uncertainty lingers, yet possibility glimmers. In this quiet world, the future is a canvas waiting to be painted. What will you choose to create? Soft. Imagine a world where time stands still. Wide shots of abandoned cities, their streets empty, their buildings silent. Landmarks that once bustled with life now stand as silent sentinels. Nature begins to reclaim what was once lost. Vines creeping over concrete, grass sprouting through cracks in the pavement. Slow-motion dust particles float in the sunlight, a reminder of the life that once was. This is the world you inherit, a world of echoes, a world of silence. Welcome to your new reality.